Jonathan Rowe, the maestro that Jamaica needs to scout. So make we see Wagwan. Welcome to Premier 7. I am your host, Ryan Nelson. I hope that you all are having a wonderful time because certainly I am. Today on the channel, I want to speak about a youngster that is of Jamaican descent. Someone who, when you watch him, it reminds you of how Doku plays. This guy is playing amazingly for Norwich City, and to be honest, I believe that Jamaica should make the effort in getting a Jonathan Rowe. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you also subscribe, do make it your effort to watch, like, comment, and share the video with others for their engagement. It is absolutely a wonderful time here on Premier 7 as your host because I want to speak about the importance of Jamaica football. And the topic will cover Jonathan Rowe, the maestro that Jamaica needs to scout. It must be understood that Jamaica is on a positive run, having finished third in the CONCACAF Nations League. And we want to continue on that pathway. We want to make it our duty to do well beyond in the Copa America and the World Cup qualifiers that comes after. But the backroom work has to be done as it relates to having a balance in terms of the team that we want to use to go out there. To be honest, I have to give a big shout out to all those persons who have made it an effort to continuously support Premier 7. And for this topic, I want to say a big thank you to Uncle Mox, the man who motivated me to take on this video in having a look on Jonathan Rowe. And let me just share the evidence here because whenever I'm speaking about important people, I have to showcase what they have done. So there was a video that I did and posted on TikTok in regards to should Jamaica accelerate interest in recruiting Elise Sims. And there you can see on the side of the video where you saw Uncle Mox saying Sims is young, so maybe he can replace Antonio. You know anything about Jonathan Rowe? And my comment was, brother, I checked out sources to find out where can Mr. Rowe play for, but I only saw England. He even sent me a link, and I looked on the link and I saw whereas he was eligible to play for Jamaica. But to me, I wanted to get some more evidence because presenting topics here on Premier 7 to you, the public, requires credibility. And today, when I was scrolling through Instagram, I saw a post that gave me that impression to say that, all right, this is the way forward in speaking about Mr. Jonathan Rowe. And as you can see, this guy, Jonathan Rowe, was recently nominated for Young POTS in the EFL Championship. The 20-year-old winger is making the league his own. He's cooking 29 games, 12 goals, and 2 assists. And the part that stood out to me was he is currently of the top under 23 players that are eligible to play for Jamaica. In a nutshell, this small indication informed me to take up it on myself to inform those persons who are in charge of Jamaica football to make it the effort to scout a Jonathan Rowe. And of course, I want to speak more into the player as it relates to his player profile and his strengths and his weaknesses by way of who scored. Mr. Rowe is 20 years of age, but based on the statistics here, we are seeing that he has started, like say 50% for Norwich City, 51% in terms of minutes, and 18% goal participation. I can conclude to say by way of that, the player, he may not be playing all minutes. It could be a case of which it was for a tactical reason, or he's not fit enough, or it could be other things for consideration because he's young. Maybe the coach wants for his development to be better off than to just push him in games to start game in, game out. But looking on his goal participation being 18%, what if he was starting like 90% in terms of starting 11 and 90% in terms of minutes? Then I can conclude to say that his goal participation would be about like 36%. And that is something that hits the nail right on the head to say that Jamaica should go for this player, for one, because he can contribute to goals. Furthermore, as you can see, he's mainly known for a left winger. He can play as an attacking midfielder and he can play also on the right. Jamaica main players this season includes the great Demarai Gray. And Demarai Gray and even Bobby Reed plays on the left hand side and the right hand side respectively. We saw where other players like Cephas has done a brilliant job based on my observation in the game against the United States. But the thing is, Jamaica needs depth. And to have a player who can play in different positions up front in a Jonathan Rowe would add pure quality to the Jamaican lineup. And yes, you may be saying that why am I speaking about this player at this moment? It is because I want for the persons who are in charge of the national setup to start the hard works from now. So that when the nitty gritty part comes up for World Cup qualifiers, we will have a squad already in place to kick things off. So, with that being said, on Jonathan Rowe, the player have the ability to play across numerous positions. And to let you know, his contract expires on the 30th of June 2025. He has been attracting interest from clubs in the Premier League like a West Ham and a Brentford. But maybe he will just extend his contract more, surpassing 2025 because it could be a case of which he wants to make something created by way of legacy for Norwich City by way of his input. But he's fairly young, but a player who is fine based on his pure ability that he was born with. Further on, with that being said, I want to speak about his strengths and his weaknesses because I don't want for persons to just watch football and become excited about players, and when players underperform, emotionally you reach in a position of having a breakdown because you did not do much research to understand the type of player for which you're watching. So for Mr. Rowe, who wears the number 27 shirt, he is a maestro based on his age. Flexible, fast, strong, full of pace. I would say is the mini Doku. And to compare a player with Doku, you know how Doku play, it will be a very decent comparison. His main strength is that of finishing, very strong. And Jamaica is a team that doesn't score goals often. So having a player like him scouted properly, not to say to haste him coming into the country, but Jamaica make it your priority to at least provide him with beneficial ways, saying that if you come to Jamaica, this is what you will receive. So in that case, we will have somebody who can contribute with goals and assists for the national team. Yes, it is shown here that his passing and crossing is weak, but Coach Al Grimson is a coach that gives players opportunities. We saw it with the different age groups, whether you are in your 30s, in your teens, or even in your mid 20s, you will get a chance to show your talent. And if Coach Hal Grimson want to go for this player, I believe that his men will have to take it up on themselves as a responsibility to not disappoint, but to get this player on board. Also, for this player, based on his style of play, he gets fouls often. In that case, Jamaica can have the benefit in terms of receiving that opportunity to score from set pieces. We have Casey Palmer, who can take free kicks. We have Leon Bailey, even though he's on a break. We have Bobby Reed. We have Demarai Gray. This guy can give Jamaica that option to get set pieces as an option to score goals. And he likes to dribble. That shows that we can create spaces. But with using this player, giving him the ball, let him find his way through tight spaces, other players making runs, he make the assists, goals can be scored. And he likes to cut inside. So whenever you give him the ball from the left hand side, expect him to cut in. Whenever you give him from the right hand side, expect for him to cut in. Remember, he likes to dribble. So if he's playing a central position, he will try his best to move away from his opposition team and make effort to assist and to score. So far, what do you think about the video in regards to this amazing talent in Jonathan Rowe? Do you think Jamaica should go for this player? Well, so far so good. I think he's a blistering talent. And of course, you can follow me here on YouTube Premier 7 and also on my other platforms on Instagram and TikTok, like the other persons who have been doing so. And if you like what is taking place here and want to say a big thank you to me as your host, you can therefore send me some donation by way of my PayPal account, as that will motivate me to continue to do the good works for you here on Premier 7. So, as you can see, I have 1,344 subscribers. It is because of you while I'm doing these good works. So, I'm coming down to an end now, speaking about Jonathan Rowe, why Jamaica should scout him. I know that you have heard some key things that he can contribute to the team. And to add on that, this guy, based on his attitude, I'm not seeing where, based on any research, that this guy is a problematic person who come into any form of altercations with the law or with any individual persons. He's a person that I see, as I've said before, is like a mini Jeremy Doko. So attitude wise, he will be focusing on his game, making his priority winning games as a must. Right? Also, bringing him into the Jamaica system at the age of 20 with a good system in place, bringing in other players, it will only do good for the country by way of motivation. Jamaica is not the only country that gets in players who are of Jamaican descent. And I just want to make mention of the national program that we have here in Jamaica, the Premier League. I don't want to turn my eyes away from that league because we have good talents who comes to the rank, like a Kyle Dixon who is playing right now, attracting many clubs from overseas in Europe. So we want to have a team with Jamaicans and overseas based players who have the descent, but it all depends on who has the better talent, who can play a system that suits Coach Al Grimson. And I think having a man like a Jonathan Rowe can do an amazing work because when you have persons who can dribble in your team, you restrict your teammates from doing the English based tactics, long ball, kick and run. For teams that plays the ball on the ground, positional wise, tiki taka, those teams are teams that I like to watch. And to me, they understand the importance of playing a positional football, whereas you can bring other teams out of position, getting them frustrated, you being fit, and boom, so you can score more than one, two, or even three goals. So far, so good. And I don't want to say I'm hyping up Mr. Jonathan Rowe. It's just that I see that if a player is being nominated for the Player of the Month or even for Player of the Year, whichever way you want to put it, this guy is somebody who has the experience that can bring that into Jamaica from a younger stage. I mean, he's playing for Norwich City at the moment, and Norwich City is, I think, 6 or 7 in the English Premiership, but they're scoring goals. And this guy impressive game in, game out. He scored more than 10 goals in 29 games, and it shows that this guy is playing in one of the hardest competitions in Europe. And for him to be impressing At this stage, Jamaica, make it your priority to scout him. Make it the effort. Even if he says no at the end of the day, you cannot say the effort wasn't being made, because I'm sure that Mr. Garrett Southgate will not be the England manager forever. And if a new manager comes in and see Jonathan Rowe as a top player, then Jamaica will miss out on this guy. So it was my priority and my love for the game of football and for my national team here in Jamaica to look into players who I think can contribute phenomenally to the country and help us to move up the rankings. What do you think about this video? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, because once you do, I will reply instantly. So it is time for me to go. You take care. Bless up until we meet again.